Chapter 1. The End of the World. A world ended on October 13th, 2019. On this day, the planet Fortnite, along with all of its inhabitants, was destroyed. The millions of humans interacting and participating with each other on planet Fortnite, each doing their own thing in their own way, saw an incredible explosion. Then everything, including their avatars, was sucked into a big black hole. Where there once was an environment of land, water, plants, and animals, where these humans interacted with each other on a daily basis, after the explosion, there was nothing left but a black hole in a universe that few of the humans really understood. The humans were emotionally blown away at the thought that the world in which they had spent many hours during their life no longer existed. But how could these humans be emotionally affected by the destruction of this world unless they were still alive and conscious of the fact that their planet Fortnite had been destroyed by the creation of a black hole? Obviously, these humans weren't actually living on planet Fortnite. Each had chosen a personal avatar to live on the planet and participate with other Fortnite's avatars. Their real self actually existed outside of Fortnite's virtual universe. Their real self lives in another universe, a parallel one. Their real universe is parallel to the universe in which the planet Fortnite exists, in the sense that while they are experiencing things, while they're seeing and hearing things on Fortnite through their chosen avatars, their actual physical body is present in another world, in their real Earth world. While their minds, at least their eyes and ears, are experiencing life on planet Fortnite, there seems to be no other planet. Their eyes and ears are so focused on what their avatars are experiencing, seeing and hearing, that they become oblivious to what is happening around them in their real world. But all of a sudden, with warning only of an impending event, they saw and heard an explosion and then nothing but darkness surrounding a black hole. Their Fortnite life experience was over. Their avatars were all dead, but their real selves were still alive. Millions of people, just like themselves, experienced the death of their own avatar. Now, none of them was able to connect to planet Fortnite and experience life there. People were disappointed, at least the ones who were having a good life and winning at the Fortnite experience. The others who were not winning, those who were always getting killed on planet Fortnite, they weren't as bothered by the end of the game. There were millions of other people who wanted to play on Fortnite, but most of these were watching what was going on, and these observers realized that if they actually joined in, they would be killed by those who knew how to play the game better than they did. To these millions of observers and the millions of others who were quickly and easily overpowered and killed by the more experienced ones, the game wasn't fair. Fortnite is just a game. What is described above is exactly what happened on October 13, 2019. But just 2 days later, the game's creators released Chapter 2, and life on planet Fortnite began again. But this time, the playing field was a bit more equal and more fair. This time, so hoped the creators, more people would join and play the game. The creators released a statement about the new improvements that they had made. Quote, "More fun, less grind," unquote. Consider the type of computer games that will be played in the future. At this writing, technology is advancing faster than at any other time in human history. Game engineers are working quickly and successfully at finding a way to create a pathway between a game player's brain and the computer software. Instead of just seeing and hearing what happens in a game, players will soon be able to use their other senses and be able to smell, taste, and feel anything found in the game's environment. As science explores the human brain and begins to understand how the brain can create a very real dream experience, this understanding leads to the invention of pathways to computer software that can create an artificial dream inside of a person's mind that's just as real as their own dreams. With this advanced technology, perhaps each game might come with a warning. Caution. Real sensory experience is part of the interactive platform of this game. You will see, hear, smell, taste, and feel things in the game's environment that seem real. Although no part of this game will cause any real physical damage to your body or end your life, all interactions will be felt through your sensory receptors as if they were real. For example, if you get shot by a gun, you will feel the bullet. If you get sliced by a sword, you will feel the cut. Advanced technology will allow one's reality to be altered for the time that the person is playing the game. As the player's brain interacts with the game, the experience will seem just as real as their life experience is while they're not playing the game, or just as real as the dreams that are experienced in the subconscious mind. Based on the reality of what is happening with the advancements made in gaming, consider what computer games might be like on Earth hundreds of thousands of years into the future. Some young Fortnite players were asked how they felt after the game ended in an explosion and they were left without the ability to play the game for a couple of days. Their general response reflected the reason why they started playing the game in the first place: boredom. If planet Earth continues into the future, it will be because we learn how to live together in peace and harmony, where there is no want or need. If humans were able to create the perfect human world, each person could experience life here according to each person's individual desires of happiness, according to the principles of unconditional free will. Living in a perfect world would be pretty boring. We would want to play games in order to entertain ourselves and to have new experiences that we otherwise couldn't have in our perfect world. In the world of Fortnite, boredom doesn't exist. Players try to stay alive while everyone else in the world is trying their best to eliminate them. The players seek for weapons and resources in order to achieve victory royale. In other words, to be the last player standing in each game. The more V-Bucks a player has, the more individuality and value they have while playing the game. The creators of Fortnite observed the inequality of the players' skill levels. They wanted to make the game more fair, more fun, less of a grind, to attract other players, especially the millions who are just watching. To change the game, the same people who created the world destroyed it and set up a new one. Fortnite's creators are actually Fortnite's gods. They created the virtual experience for a specific purpose. They ended it for a specific purpose. Although we would like to think that they ended their Fortnite world for a good purpose to the game, to bring more quality, more fairness, and more fun, the chances are high that they ended one virtual world from which they were making a lot of money in order to create another one from which they would make even more. The players who play the game know very little about how the world was created, because once a player starts to play, their inexperience makes them vulnerable to the more experienced players who have the most weapons and resources, therefore the most power. So let's pretend that Fortnite is the only game in town, that it is the best game to play in order to have the best gaming experience and play with the most people. Let's suppose that there is no other gaming platform, no other virtual world available where a person can join others and spend time interacting to relieve boredom. Because if they were busy providing themselves with the basic necessities of life, they wouldn't have the time to be bored. Let's say that there are 15 billion people who want to play the game. Most of them are just observers because they realize that they could never win, so why start to play the game? They realize that they wouldn't be given a fair chance to live for more than just a few minutes before being killed because of the power and experience from within the game of the few who control it. Those who created the game are much more powerful than those who control the game from within. However, none of the creators can do much within the game if they were to join in and start playing. As players themselves, the creators wouldn't have any more advantage within the game than any of the other players. But outside of the game, as the game's creators, they can destroy the world and create a new one that would attract more players. The creators know that there are millions of people sitting on the sidelines just observing. Because their purpose for creating the world is to make money, the millions of people who are just watching are potential customers. If they chose to play, these people would further fulfill the purpose for which the world was created for the creators, to make money. But what if the game was actually created by the 15 billion people as a place where they could interact with each other so that they weren't bored with their regular life? If the game was the only game in town and the only way that the 15 billion people could have some fun interacting with each other in a virtual world, the opposite of being bored, but there were just a few players who were spoiling it for the rest, why wouldn't the 15 billion people want to destroy what they created and start again? The real truth is, mortal life upon planet Earth is nothing more or less than a very sophisticated and highly advanced human interactive world being experienced by each mortal's higher, advanced true self. We are actually a highly advanced human race living in another parallel universe. There are approximately 15 billion of us living on different planets in a mutually shared solar system. We live in the perfect world for us, which we created for us, according to each of our individual desires of happiness. The mortal experience on planet Earth is the only way that we can interact with each other while living on these different advanced planets. Think of it this way. Let's suppose that all 9 planets of our solar system were inhabited by humans. The planets were created to be new homes for people who once lived on the same planet called Earth. Advanced science allows us to create these new planets so that we can spread our population throughout the solar system. Let's suppose that these new planets were highly advanced and provided a perfect life for each inhabitant. While living on these perfect worlds, we would get bored. We've conquered death, disease, and we do not allow plants and animals nor bacteria or viruses to exist on our new planets that might threaten human life. Living for a long time among the same people, we learn everything that there is to know about the people sharing our planet. But we don't know much about the other people who are living on the other planets. So that we don't get bored with the same people we are used to on our perfect planet, we desire to become involved with others living on the other planets in our solar system. To involve ourselves with these others and not have to travel to their planet, which is their home, not ours, we connect to an intergalactical internet platform. If we visited their home, it might disrupt the balance of their society, as their visiting our planet might disrupt the balance of our perfect society. With this vast internet, powered by our solar system's sun, we would all have mutual access to upload and download speeds at the speed of light. No lag whatsoever. Real time, always. We would all connect equally to this virtual world. Earth would become our Fortnite. The platform in which Earth exists would be the universe that we observe from Earth. However, our real universe is not Earth's universe. To us advanced humans, Earth exists in a virtual universe. We start interacting with each other by playing the game of mortal life on Earth. At first, it all goes pretty well, but then some of the other players learn how to control the game and take it over. Because the game platform allows it, the players can create whatever kind of world they want, at least as far as they're able to convince the other players or force them to accept the world that they created. The Earth experience started out equal for all. There was plenty of room and plenty of resources for all of the players. Soon, however, it became corrupted by a few players who eventually took over the world. Soon, no advanced human could connect to the corrupted game and remain alive unless someone more experienced at playing the game was there to help them learn how to play. A player couldn't just connect to the Earth experience with a game avatar of their own creation, one that looked like them, like an advanced adult. The game had changed drastically from what it was in the beginning. Now, In order to connect to the game, an advanced human had to wait until a mortal body had developed inside the womb of one of the other players in order to be born into the world, in order to enter the game and start playing. Once the new body was fully formed and functional, the breath of life became the connective protocol of the mortal experience upon earth. This mortal experience is nothing like it was meant to be, as Earth's creators intended for it to be in the beginning. Earth's creators do not want it to end. But if the players inside the game do not do something to improve the playing field and return it to how it used to be in the beginning, the Earth will not fulfill the measure of its creation. If Earth does not provide the experience it was meant to provide for those who want to play the game, then it will be destroyed by the gods who created it. We created Earth. We are these gods. Earth will be destroyed by us, the advanced human beings who want to play the game of mortal life. Life upon Earth has been going on for billions of years. During these years, our true selves have tried everything that can possibly be done, according to the laws of nature, the rules of the game, in order to convince our mortal avatars to start playing the game as it was meant to be played. We have failed. Now the rules must be broken as a last resort. Our mortal avatars were not supposed to know and understand that they are not the real person behind their existence. Because if mortals know this, then at any time they experience an uncomfortable situation that makes them unhappy, they can end their existence. You will know this real truth when you die. When your mortal life ends, no matter how it ends, you will immediately be aware that you continue to exist. You will recognize that your true self is actually an advanced human of incredible intelligence and individual power, free will. You will then know that you are the only God that ever did exist. You will realize that all the times upon earth when you felt this spiritual sensation, the presence of God, you were actually feeling the connection your mortal avatar had with your true self. You will know these real truths about your own self, but also about every other human with whom you shared your earthly experience. You will know that each person who lives on earth is actually connected to their true self. You will know that there is no other God outside of you, outside of us. At that time, you will recognize the culprit that has corrupted the mortal experience and destroyed humanity. You will understand that this culprit, unless confronted and eliminated, will destroy our fortnight and our lives upon earth. This culprit is religion. Religion lies to us and tells us that we are not our own God, but that we are subjected to the God that religion has invented to control our actions. Religion teaches us to not depend on ourselves for our own salvation. Religion teaches us that we must depend upon God, even if this God allows us to experience such a miserable mortal life. We are taught about this God by religious leaders who personally benefit from the lie. If we were convinced that there is no other God than us, then we could unite and do what we must do in order to save Earth and all of humanity. Thus convinced, religion would no longer exist. And those who promoted religion for their own gain might cry out, quote, "O mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from this real truth," unquote.